mic session now because we have a lot of Rex KARMAVEER Global Fellows in this room, and the basic premise, the basic foundation of the Rex KARMAVEER Global Fellowships is to figure out how to work together, how to exchange ideas, and how to create change together. Together as one, we can right every wrong has been our mantra for the past so many years. And the idea of the fellowship actually comes in because several people who've been nominated for the KARMAVEER Puraskar Award have had the humility and the modesty to tell us that they do not feel that they are yet worthy of the award. And several people have told us that because they feel that the award deserves to be kind of, they should be worthy of the award by doing something more for society. And that's when we actually thought of the KARMAVEER Chakra along with the UN. About how can we kind of also include people who have the intent and the integrity to start doing something. And that's how the Rex Fellowships has come together. And there are various Rex Fellows in this room today, yeah, right from a 15-year-old to people who are 60 and above. And the idea is that how can we share knowledge with each other, learn from each other with all humility, yeah? Because learning can come from any unexpected place as long as we keep an open mind. Yeah, I don't agree with this concept that we can only learn from people who are more experienced, because you can learn from a 7-year-old, you can learn from a 15-year-old. And that's exactly what I actually try to kind of, talk about in the leadership coaching classes that I do in companies and businesses. So how do we work together? How do we share knowledge? How do we exchange ideas? How do we create change? And what we try to do is we try to bring fellows together from different walks of life and different age groups and different demographics. And we're also kind of now planning to extend this along with embassies to bring in people from other countries. But right now we have a whole lot of people who are the first batch of Rex KARMAVEER Global Fellows in this room. And Simar has actually kind of offered and volunteered to say that he would drive the social media. He's already had some conversations with Shivani, who's actually leading on our websites and managing and maintaining on our websites. We have a young 15-year-old boy, then Nihal Gonzalez, who's been very involved with the cleaning up of all the creeks. And happy to say that the entire movement was led by Goa for Giving, which is one of our founder members at the International Confederation of NGOs. So where government has failed to kind of clean up the entire creeks and the ecological systems in Goa, citizens have got together and started doing good work earlier this year, and they've just revived a very old statue also, I believe, and probably Armand, who's very shy of the stage, would come in sometime later and talk about it. Yeah. But I'm now going to open the mic to a few Rex Global Fellows. So, who wants to volunteer to come up and speak first? Yes. Sharad? Who wants to come and speak first?
So like I said, in the Rex Global Fellowship, we'll have a lot of voices of dissent. And one of those voices of dissent is a very senior professor from IIT who's been fighting the system for the past 7 years, has blown the whistle without any fear, absolutely fearless. The media has given him a lot of support and written about what he's doing, and I stand with him in the fight because I think we need to clean up that system.
Personally, I feel that we have to lobby as citizens to kind of get people who graduate from IIT and IIM to devote at least 2 years of their life to the country, because they get education at the cost of the taxpayer. So there is some kind of give back over there. But I'll invite Professor Rajiv Kumar to come up first and share what he's been doing in his fight for justice. It's been a long fight, and it's probably going to go on for a long time. May we have you up on stage? You have 3 minutes, Professor Rajiv Kumar, so please come back on stage fastly.
I'm Rajiv. I'm a professor of computer science at IT for the last 12 years. And I started my career as a defense scientist. Then I found I can do better in academics and started my academic plan. Then I landed at IT and as all of you know, and we know very well, IIT is the name which India has produced globally. The one name that trusts in all over the world is the IIT. And since I teach computer science students, I found in the class some students are certainly very brilliant, some are not. Then I always ask a question. I'm talking only general category students since we believe in social justice. I am comparing only general category students. Every time I feel that how these students could enter the system. With computer science, only the top 100 or 200 rankers get computer science. And when I was teaching at BITS, I found those students were brilliant. And the people who know the education system, BITS was one of the first private institute, and their admissions were done based on 12th standard performance. And the students who were joining BITS, they were basically rejected by IIT entrance system. That's why certainly, first thing was that this BITSian were those who were rejected by this entrance exam, whereas most of you knowing the word JEE. In the last few years, it has been newspapers have been flooded with this joint entrance examination. Then you know that RTI came in 2005, and first time I got the marks of students who were selected. Before that, what the status? The person was just waiting, he has been selected and qualified in IIT, that's all. And we have so much faith in the system. We consider IIT system holier than the holiest, that no one ever questioned that why I have been selected or why I have not been selected. There was no question paper given, no marks were given, no rank, only I get a rank. We treat this as a bolt from the blue. When in 2006 I got the marks, I found a student with 279 was not selected, would not qualify, and a student with 154 was selected and admitted. And see, in such an exam, each and every mark matters. If you have 1 mark less, your rank may be 100 rank lower. This is the case, and for each and every student fights. And till now, IIT could not explain that why a student with 279 was not selected. I went up to Supreme Court, and Supreme Court said, we cannot interfere. We cannot interfere in spite of inaccuracy and other things. This is the judgment of the Supreme Court. After a long fight, I got it. But in the process, what I did, that the debate and other things generated system has been transferred. Something which was the minimum scoring criteria was 55 in 2006, became 3 in the subsequent year because of transparent procedure. This is not a one case. Many things are there. There are a lot of errors in the question paper. Many of you may be knowing that today most of the examinations are posting their answer key on the day of examination and asking the people that give the feedback. I said examination body is made up of 3-4 people. They cannot decide which answer is correct, which is not correct. Public is more intelligent. This all is due to my efforts, and even you may be knowing many bodies are giving a scanned answer copy. They are giving counter copy because they are having tampering. And even yesterday, if many of you have seen this report, Hindustan Times talking.
Thank you.
This is something like that. So many reforms has come. That's all how I will take it.
Thank you, Professor Kumar. We'll take some questions from you. So that's Professor Rajiv Kumar. You heard a lot of young entrepreneurs, young ideators yesterday. Today we'll have some voices of dissent. So Professor Rajiv Kumar has taken on the system. And I absolutely agree with this slide that it should not be an elitist system. When this is what we are talking about yesterday, that how do we get people from the so-called lower income groups into the mainstream? And somewhere there is a concentrated effort not to allow that to happen. So if we want to get and really kind of nurture the real talent which is out there, then we need to kind of stand with them in this fight. Maybe have the microphone there, please.
If I may, I wouldn't call it a voice of dissent. I believe it's the voice of conscience.
Thank you so much.
And that's what.
Really, I absolutely agree with you, sir. It's a voice of conscience.
I think what we need in our country is more people should listen to their conscience and take up these crusades, as it were.
Yes.
And go all the way.
Absolutely.
My compliments to the professor. Thank you very much.
Very rightly said. Even I do not call myself a whistleblower. I call myself a reformer. And also, I am not disclosing why this is happening. I am disclosing based on this irregularity, based on this inaccuracy, how I can reform the process. That is my main aim, that with a well-defined process, with inbuilt checks and balances. We have transparency, but the processes are not defined. In the absence of that, we can only expose irregularity. What I said next, you have well-defined process. Even with the well-defined process, there may be mistakes, there may be errors. Third thing I want, well-defined process should have built-in checks and balances, which we lack in each and every system today. And if we have these three things, well-defined process, built-in checks and balances, and transparency, that's the key to every ill what I feel in the society.
Thank you, Dr. Kumar.